Alright everyone, we're back for another Flashpoint, this time the attack at Tyrlon, although it is in heavier rain than we expected, and the High Lady Arano herself is telling us that we're making a push on the Directorate's primary shipyard. If our attack is to be successful, well, if it is successful rather, what's left of the Directorate fleet will be rendered mostly useless, and she needs our help to accomplish this as per usual. So, the shipyard is protected by enormous gun batteries, and we need to destroy their generators before the restoration dropships enter weapons range. Makes sense. So, there are three generators, one named Alpha, other Bravo, and the third Charlie. Take out all three, and kill any and all surviving Directorate units, of course.
Go take out those generators, Commander,
yes.
and do it quickly. Our entire plan falls apart if those guns stay online.
They sent a prototype spider out to scout us, marking targets for artillery bombardment. Very nice. Interesting. Okay, we can destroy the forward observers for their artillery. They should stop calling in more targets. Okay, so this is part of why we fielded a slightly different lance than usual. If you'll notice, we don't have Announcer in his Atlas, we don't have Bomb Squad in his Red Reaper. We do instead have Bronzite in the Death Strike, we have Barn Owl in the Timberwolf, we have Mongrel in the Super Griffin, and Slapdash in our new Osprey. And the hope here is to be a lighter, maneuverable, and still effective force to really just overwhelm with speed, right? So we have maneuverability from the jump jets on the Super Griffin, we have the Osprey able to walk and run really far, same with the Timberwolf, and then the Death Strike is our slower, more plodding, okay, something needs to get hammered hard, well, this is how we do it. So, we do have eyes on a turret here, medium turret. There's supposedly also some sort of spotter up this way, can't see him quite yet. We're going to be reserving down to hopefully make sure that the turret can't shoot at us on turn 1. And then I think we should start out getting a nice hop up the field. And yeah, okay, so we have a standard laser turret. We have another, oh, it's a light laser turret, okay. So some mediums, some larges. There's another medium turret up here, probably the same as the standard down below. And the generator has 560 structure, so we want to be killing the guns nearby and then shooting this thing, because going right for it will be a little bit risky just because of how much firepower we'll have to concentrate before we take any guns off in the field. So a little bit of light damage going in on their turret, and there is a 60-tonner moving up, probably a dragon if I had to guess. That's, at least in vanilla, one of the more common 60-ton mechs that you'll see. We can land a good shot. So the Osprey has 16 rounds on that Gauss, and that's a lot, but it's not endless. So we need to make sure we're taking good, worthwhile shots with it. However, 105 armor left on this thing. I think that Gauss rifle is kind of needed here. So fingers crossed we and we miss. And it would have been enough to kill it. That is the exact opposite of what we wanted. So we have the Timberwolf, and we have Bronzite in the Death Strike, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to move the Death Strike up to right here. We're not going to open up with those autocannons. I want precision shots with those autocannons. But what we can do is fire in with everything else. That should be more than enough to take that turret offline. But it did its job. It sunk a lot of our firepower on this first turn, allowing several of their mechs to move up. Looks like there's a Jenner on our left-hand side. Can't quite see these vehicles there in the back, or whatever that 60-tonner is. Okay, so we do have a Striker Mark 1. It's going to be some light LRM fire coming in, and missing all over our Super Griffin. Not really too much trouble there. And now we have Barn Owl, and only indirect fire capable. Well, no, we can go up here. You know what? We will stand in the marsh. Why not? So, the issue with this Timberwolf on missions like this is going to be ammunition capacity. We can't afford to burn through 30 ATM missiles. Sorry, one moment. We can't afford to go through 30 ATM missiles with 63% accuracy on something as not valuable as a light laser turret. So this is actually not the most useful shot that we could take, and we have an even worse one on the Jenner. So we're just going to open up double medium laser on that light turret. Only land one. That's okay. This is, it's something that you have to evaluate when you bring these missile and ammunition heavy builds, where if you run through it too quickly, you're going to be in a bit of trouble in the late game. If you run through it too slowly, you're going to be in trouble from all the fire that you're taking that you put up with the warhead. So my compromise position on that for something like a Flashpoint, where you're going to be facing a lot of unexpected reinforcements if it's your first time through. You're going to be fighting a lot of just health sink things like turrets and whatnot, is to sort of take shots when we get up to the 70-80% range more than the 50-60% range, and really to prefer something like 85-90 as a minimum. So we do have the first markers for artillery fire, and I'm not too concerned about this. We are very, very mobile. Frankly, even if you have some sort of assault mech, let's say, that's moving at 3.5, you can still probably get out of the way at a sprint. It's something I think actually Mech Warrior 5 did a little bit better, just in terms of how hard it can be sometimes to avoid artillery fire in that game compared to this one. I mean, it does force us to maneuver, but we were going to maneuver anyway. That was always the intention. We don't really have anything where we're going to be sad now because we can't sit still and have a stable firing platform. It's not really how this was ever intended to go. So we could move the Osprey, we could move the Timberwolf, but I think we're going to just let things lie at the moment. I do kind of want to take down those artillery spotters, so if we can get eyes on them, but I don't currently have that, and it's less of a pressing issue than it otherwise could be. We do only have 16 rounds to destroy all 3 generators, which sounds like a lot, and it could be a lot, but they're very spaced out. So Bravo Charlie is all the way in the back there, and we have to fight all the way up that hill to get there. So it's not like we can spend 5-6 turns skirmishing at this first objective. They're going to drop more. And that might be something where we have a little bit of genuine trouble. Because, again, we're a little bit lighter. We're timed only on destroying the generators, not on destroying all hostiles. So we might end up having to prioritize targets that way, and just leave some things alive and shooting at us, unfortunately, while handling the more pressing priority targets. So my best shot against that light laser turret, oddly enough, is up on the top of this hill. So we're going to jump the Super Griffin up here. We can potentially have him go after the spotters and after this generator Bravo, and send the other 3 towards Alpha, then up through to Charlie. He'll be a little bit isolated, but I have full confidence in the Super Griffin build that we have here. We do get that light turret off the field. And wow, I just have a major scratch in my throat today. So, I do apologize. Let's take a look. Okay, so that is a quick draw, not a dragon. It does actually land a couple medium lasers on the Death Strike, despite our 5 evasion pips. I mean, this thing will never match the 6, 7, or 8 that we'll get on some other things, but 5 evasion pips is a -10. That's no slouch. And we do have to move through here, so we have to get fully on the other side of these artillery spots. Well, artillery shots, I suppose. We could go in after one of those vehicles, but I think the better play is probably to try and light up the quick draw. So let's do it. Move the easy for me to say. We'll move the Death Strike through, and I think we will open up with both ultra auto cannons only firing on one, so hopefully we can mitigate their recoil. And really do damage with the large lasers. If they had more like 80%, I'd open up with both. But it's a little swingy for that right now. I do actually land both, and one of the larges, a couple mediums as well. exposed structure on that quick draw, and there's one of the spiders that is apparently spotting mech for the enemy. So what we can do now... No, that's pretty horrible accuracy. I think what we'll do is we'll come up here, and we will teach this quick draw the error of his ways. So we'll turn on the ATMs, and we'll turn them on to their HE variety to really push that close range accuracy. Pop Battlelord, and this should kill that mech. Yep. I do think we did benefit from the Death Strike's volley. It might have been unnecessary, but I'm not entirely sure. We did a lot of damage to those side torsos with those AC-10 rounds that we fired. So I think it was worth it. And I think... So I should have popped defensive formation before this. That's an error on my part. But now that I haven't, it might not be the best idea to pop it on this turn. It will count down on the next turn, so I'll basically cut my benefit from it in half for most of the mechs that we're currently fielding, which is not exactly ideal. And we might want to do this. Let's sprint up here on the right, and we'll get our first Alpha Strike in on that generator. So the Gauss Rifle, triple medium lasers, and an LRM-10 coming in to try and start making a difference. Yeah, I mean, that's good damage. That's only a couple rounds of fire necessary for this. And that's a lot more artillery marks. So 3 have just been fired on, but haven't gone away, and wow. Okay. I think in vanilla they went away as soon as they were fired. Ooh, did he just DFA? He did, and he landed it. Kind of. Yeah, he landed it. So we took a lot of damage on our Death Strike from that, a lot more than I was expecting, but that Jenner has effectively knocked himself over, and he's gonna get just murdered in revenge. But we do need to move the Death Strike now. We've lost our evasion on him. That's gonna pull a lot of fire, especially from those vehicles that are nearby and moving on 7. So, yep, there's one volley coming in. There'll probably be another one shortly. If that Death Strike gets knocked down, that will be very bad. Could potentially cause even a knockdown and an injury. Maybe even a bleed out if we're not lucky. So more missiles coming in. No knockdown so far. Yep, there it is. Okay, so Death Strike's knockdowns. Moving on to potential pilot injury. Nope, injury resisted. That's good at least. But that thing's armor is getting chewed through on its right-hand side pretty severely. Even a little bit of damage to the head, which means that if they get a lucky headshot, we could lose the pilot, could even lose the mech outright. So that Jenner, I mean, yeah, self-sacrifice, but, you know, it may well have been worth it. We need to kill that spider. He is one of the 2 spotters, and this artillery is a little crazier than I had expected, to be honest. I think we're going to keep moving up, keep driving up past it. We've almost done a bit of a different switch than I'd intended. So the Timberwolf and the Death Strike went up on the left, not on the right. Better firing positions against their own enemy movement. Wait, is that both the spiders? Oh man, if they move forward with both of their artillery spotter mechs, we could end this right now. She did say, well, Lady Arano did say that it's the spiders that are doing this. But if that's the case, we could really punish that. We should have, yep, a precision strike is online. I don't want to go in for a punch because our accuracy will be absolute trash with the Gauss rifle, but it might be anyway. Where can I get the best rear shot? Nope, that's artillery, that's artillery. I have no jump jets on this thing. No, we can't just stand there because we will be unable to shoot. So if we have to torso twist, we may as well move. Okay, this is risky. I want that spider dead. We're opening up our Osprey to more dangerous counterfire than I would ordinarily like, but if we can land this Gauss rifle shot, that's 2 misses in a row off that Gauss rifle, and it would have probably been enough to kill the spider outright. As it is, that thing is still alive, kicking, and we just took some significant return fire for our efforts. I think actually comparable damage to what we dished out, which is never what you want in this game. So let's go right around behind this other spider and just say hello. See, Osprey, that's how you do it. That's how you do it right there. Okay. So we have the Timberwolf. Timberwolf could go in against the other spider, I guess. I do want to kill that Jenner, but we might leave it up to the Deathstrike to do that herself. And if we go on the sprint up here, what's my accuracy? Trash accuracy. Is that worth risking? Because we could just be wasting a volley. Paper thin internal structure left on that torso. Really pretty bad armor all around. You know, here's what we'll do. We will move up on the walk. No, it's just awful accuracy. Like, this won't even be improved significantly enough with a precision strike to really gain us anything unless we move right up to it, which I guess, you know what, we're in it. Let's do it. Precision strike coming in, and I'm going to have to open fire with more of these ATMs than I would like to, just to try to make sure we kill this thing. 30 would give us 4 volleys left on this thing, so we will turn off half of these. One of the ATM 6s, one of the ATM 9s, the one with a little bit less accuracy, and maybe if we can just leg it, that's at least worth something. And we do get the leg. Okay. Alright, that's a start. Because returning our ability to maneuver by getting rid of these artillery pieces is going to be more valuable than I at first thought. The Deathstrike standing up, we can take more fire, it's just that we don't necessarily want to, clearly. It might be a good spot for popping Vigilance, actually. This will get us some increased damage reduction as well as moving a little bit faster. Not that that will really make too much of a difference on this next turn for us, but most of our fire we're taking to the right-hand side. So I would like to move around to the left, but I'm not sure we can pull it off and still get the firing position that we want. What we can do is we can come up here. Pretty horrible accuracy against that spider. Probably should have done a precision strike. Instead, we don't need to land much. I'm actually going to turn on the AC-10s at double, because if even a single one hits that CT, we're in business. Come in. Here we go. Dead mech. Dead mech. Good. So both the spotters are gone. Okay, there might be more. But for right now, that should end the artillery fire. Which is coming in right now. Doesn't actually hit us. Did it only fire on... Okay, so they... No? Okay. Firing in volleys, I see. 1, 2, and 3. There it is. So we have 14 rounds left. We haven't taken down a single generator, but we have chewed through a fair number of mechs and turrets. Not as much as maybe we might hope. But I mean, those vehicles are just damage and time sinks at the moment. They don't carry the heaviest armament. We can survive, you know, peppering like fire like that. And Vigilance did get us up to 32% damage resistance. At least it said it did. Now it's down to 15. It's a little odd. But let's see. Breaching shot coming in. Another rim of fire. God. So only matter if you land your shots, sir, and you did not. Those both vehicles, actually neither one with any evasions, might be a good chance for us to take those guns off the field. The question is how we do that, because the ammunition reserves on the Timberwolf are very, very low, to the point where that kind of has to be reserved for priority targets now. So the turret's moving on 6. I don't think I want to try to kill it because 212, how much can we actually do single volley off the Osprey? That would be 70 plus, what, each of those are 30s, so that would be 90 plus 70, 160 plus the LRM 10, so another 40, 200. We can't actually kill it with the Osprey. but we don't have any evasion, and I don't want to get popped quite as hard as we did the previous round again. We could go in after the generator. Could also see what we could do about... oh, no. See what we could do about that Jenner. Very close to being lagged. Well, you know what we'll do is we will... where can I get a good shot? That isn't suicidal. Let's hug the wall so we avoid fire from that turret. Unless it wants to go fully indirect fire, which I don't think it will. Should have popped defensive formation again. Doubly sloppy on my part, but use it now because the other three will benefit from it. And let's see what we can do. Finally land the Gauss. Left torso destroyed on that Jenner, and he's having a really bad day. So, not perfect, but not bad either. Fire coming from our left. A little unexpected, didn't really know that there was anything over that way. I suppose that's probably the next round of reinforcements and or something else just fired out. Missed that. Oof. Lots of fire coming in from the standard turret, just pounding us. Okay, yeah, so that's a medium turret over at the second generator that was shooting in at our Super Griffin. And I want that standard laser turret offline sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and reserve down, get the Death Strike, and I want you... Yeah, that's actually decent. We'll move up this way, present your left side to those new turrets that are coming online, and we'll do a Precision Strike, and just take this turret out of existence completely. Thank you, stop existing. Yeah, there we go. That'll reduce the amount of return fire that we're taking pretty tremendously. Super Griffin, we have two choices. We can go up here toward Bravo on our own, which I don't think is actually the best idea at this point, or we could try to take out that Alpha Generator. I do want most of my armament to fire if it's the case though, so we're just going to be moving up, sacrificing a little bit of our damage resistance to just absolutely pound. Turn off one of the streaks? No, that's not good enough. No. Running a little hot here, so we'll save our ammunition. Streaks might not have fired either, but decent chance of it. And that generator is down to a little over half left, which is more than I would like at this point. Timberwolf would be in an ideal position to kick if he weren't a clan mech, but he is, so he can't. And I think what we'll do is shift you over this way. Yep. So we really are dedicated now to driving up toward Bravo next, then turning around, going from there to Charlie. Let's take out that lag and kill this mech. FCS Advanced TC allowing us to target. The ATMs were a little bit overkill, but well, we used them, so that's what we got. And it does look like the artillery is being taken off the board now once it fires. I don't see anything else. Hopefully those will go away as well. No? What's going on? Not letting me control my camera. Guess those three are stuck for another round. Interesting. And that's those two Striker Mark 1s moving up again. Still proving to be relatively resilient, at least in terms of providing fire support while not being worth firing back at the moment. We're gonna have to come up with some way to handle those, because I really don't want to, and would actually benefit from having something really dedicated toward killing those. It's a lot of fire coming in. Our Death Strike might be, for the first time, losing pieces on this mission if we're not careful. So what's moving at 6? Probably those two turrets. Can't move the Death Strike. Only can move the Osprey. Well, you know what? We could see about... Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to use the Osprey to try and take out these Strikers before we move on. Questionable decision to use the Gauss rifle on that sort of thing. This is some excellent accuracy, and targeted fire from something like a Gauss rifle to open one particular section could actually be very useful. We did get structure exposed. Yeah, okay, that's good. So the problem that I often have with my missile-heavy mechs going after these vehicles is that it often ends up in a situation where I scatter damage all across the mech, don't actually penetrate through, and therefore I have to use 2 volleys instead of 1, and that Osprey avoids this just a little bit by having that Gauss rifle to really hammer one armor section and then scatter around with the rest from the LRM-10, the ER mediums, to hopefully follow up, open up that same structure location. So we really do need to, at this point, kill that generator on this turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to sprint up here, so we are still moving up, and we're going to open up with at least 300 points worth of damage. Each of these Ultra AC-10s could potentially be about 140 to 80 combined total, but 74% chance to hit. Expectation value is going to be somewhere around 190 to 210 actual damage coming from that, so we will need the rest of the armament as well. Let's open up with a lot of misses on those Ultra autocannons. How do you miss that many times? We landed 1. All we needed to do was land 2, and that would have been down, but we didn't. Well, disappointing. Disappointing. Let's move up here. Looks like a bit of an opposition, but we can jump up at the top of the next turn with the Super Griffin. At least we should be able to, and let's open up with this. 1, 2. Wait, did you really? Oh my goodness gracious, we missed 3 out of 4 with a 3 out of 4 chance to hit, which is like the opposite of how that should have worked. We can't actually move up past it. Interesting. Don't want to use more ATMs. You know what? You will go this way toward C. And we're going to turn off the ATMs. We're just going to fire in. I'm actually going to turn these back to standard just to conserve my better ammunition. Please kill this thing. There we go. This is how you land medium lasers. 2 left. 13 turns. I think we're doing okay. I think we could be in a worse spot than we are. We could also be in a better spot than we are if we brought something heavier. The Red Reaper wouldn't have really helped us in this situation other than to kill the Strikers that much faster. Oof. Okay. Better damage than I would have liked going in on the Timberwolf. We could move the Osprey now. Do I have a precision strike? I don't. Just barely. 57 out of 60. But we could go in for a kick. I'm going to wait until after those turrets fire, that way we don't draw damage onto the Osprey. Okay, one of them shooting at the Death Strike, kind of as expected in that position. That's why we're in the woods. It's also why we moved on the sprint. And now let's see if we can draw some fire a little differently by moving up with the Super Griffin. We can hop from here to up on the ledge. We need to make sure that we're actually getting effective fire while we're at it. So let's come up here, try and take out that okay, standard laser turret. It's gonna be pretty hard to get through all of that on the same turn, but we might be able to do it if we get lucky with our damage here. That could be as high as 120 from the streaks. That would allow it to get finished off from the ER mediums. Let's see what we can do. It does look like both opening up. That's a turret down. Very nice. That's how it's supposed to go. Alright. So feeling a little better about that. The Osprey actually does have a precise strike. Why? We shouldn't. But we do. So, okay, I guess. I won't argue with you. So 50% there. What I'm looking for is better accuracy on the Gauss. I think that's the best we're going to get. Precise strike, again, just try and pierce through one position on this guy. Oh yeah. That striker's down. Okay, so we finally dealt with everything that was on the board at our starting position. We dealt with spotters, we dealt with the quick draw and a couple other mechs, we dealt with their vehicle complement, and now we're moving up toward Bravo in actually a pretty decent position, I'd say. Let's also go ahead and pop Vigilance here for the Timberwolf, and move up toward center. He does risk being a little isolated, but we've taken basically no damage with this guy, and we need somebody able to move and groove up here, potentially even take out that generator with indirect fire, which we are capable of with the ATMs. So let's go ahead and just click done there, and now let's get the Death Strike moving up. So it's another time where we are getting a bit of instability that I would ordinarily like to get rid of with a Vigilance, but I want good fire here. So let's just go on the move. A little risky for return fire, but my hope is we can use the Precision Strike instead and just kill this thing outright. Might not be able to get there using a lot of our Ultra AC-10 ammunition, but we do manage it. Okay, so I mean, heck, that saves us more damage because we won't get return laser fire than if we had popped Vigilance and had a lower chance of killing that thing. So probably that's this turret's and one of the ones up here as well. Let's just let them do their thing for now, and it does look like they both have been unable to fire. Reserving all the way down to 1. I think there's not all that much left on the board, and we will put the Osprey up to support the Timberwolf. A little bit of a speed problem here where the Osprey isn't quite fast enough to really close that distance. So what we could do is we could actually wait another round right here with the Timberwolf, move them up as a group. I think we have the time to allow that, or I could go over to this right side point here and try and flank and then move the Osprey up the middle. Which I think we will do that. That way they'll sort of converge on their timing, the Osprey taking the more direct route than the Timberwolf. And our Super Griffin is going to jump, and he's going to use this turn to cool off just a little bit. So just a short hop, sink all of that heat that we've been building, and move the Death Strike up. Good turn for us, just doing some maneuvering, not taking any return fire. I know. You have 10 turns.
Before our drop ships draw within range.
You're fine. The turret's still not in range to fire back at us, which is absolutely excellent. And now hopefully we can jump up here with the Super Griffin and take one out. So let's go right here. Oh yeah, excellent accuracy. We're going to use a Precision Strike just to make sure. And turn on that last streak again just for an insurance policy. Don't want any return fire coming in if we can avoid it. So yeah, that's good. So Bravo is isolated and ripe for just being taken out. It'll take us 2 volleys with the Super Griffin, probably one with the Death Strike, but I'm not sure I want... I think I might want the Death Strike supporting this main thrust over here instead. So let's get the Osprey moving. Yeah, as quick as that is on a big drawn-out map like this, even just a little bit of jump would be better. We'd be able to hop the direct route up here like we did with the Super Griffin. So, I mean, it pays to have jump jets. It pays to have good jump jets. I will admit, most of the mechs that you'd have with standard jump jets on them, with maybe 4 to 5 jump squares, wouldn't be able to do that cliff wall. You might have been able to go from here, up to here, up to there. But that's not that much faster than going, sprinting as quickly as we are up this way. And, okay, new group of hostiles. We have an artillery spotter, so artillery is going to be a factor again. We need these mechs dead ASAP. Let's try and avoid... Yep, okay, we avoided fire from the turrets. We're going to let that last guy move at 5. Fine, that's all okay. We could get the Osprey... Yeah. Let's do that. I'm not going to pop the defensive formation because we're going to try to make very quick work of these guys. And we better serve precision strikes if that is the case. Let's take a look. We have Trebuchet, we have a Jaeger mech, lightly armed, AC2s, double LRM-15, not the end of the world. Trebuchet looking pretty good. Vindicator, I do like that mech, and that PPC could be an issue. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to kill their artillery spotter with that spider before he can get any sort of effective artillery attacks on us. How does that... Oh my goodness. Okay, Osprey, good at killing vehicles, bad at killing mechs. Now we know. The problem that we're going to have now is, yeah, we're going to need to be creative, dodging the lines of sight of those medium turrets. Which is a bigger threat, the Trebuchet or the Jaeger mech? Probably the Jaeger mech. Okay, we don't need a precision strike here. We have good enough accuracy. We'll save it for the next turn. When those Ultra AC-10s will be suffering from recoil. Although we didn't get a kill, so now I kind of regret that. I mean, we effectively got a kill. The Jaeger mech has lost pretty much its entire armament. Actually, it did lose its entire armament. That thing is now a punch bot, or a DFA machine, which, you know, if it goes DFA, we'd actually have some trouble from that. Well, can I get my missiles online? I can, but I don't have a precision strike and I'm burning a little hot. So, let's not worry about you for right now. Let's bring Timberwolf over. Where's a good spot to be? Here's okay. Could open up with ATMs, try and kill that spider. I think that is the plan. I don't want that artillery of theirs opening up on me again, so we'll use the standards, and how much is left? 35? We're going to turn on just half a volley, so that would be 18, not 15 of these ATM missiles coming in. Let's see what we can do. Yep, that's a dead spider. Their forward observers are down, so should be able to avoid artillery. And you know what? You, sir, I'm going to basically stand right there and pound away while sinking some heat. Just get a little bit of damage on that generator, so we can start working toward that objective. While, you know, if we jumped all the way down, we wouldn't even really be able to get effective fire. Hey, now, I killed your spotter. That's rude. I killed your spotter. I killed their spotter faster than what they expected, I suppose, because he shouldn't have been able to call in artillery. But I guess he did get a chance to move. So, maybe. But that's weak sauce. Trebuchet's moving close on the Death Strike. With the Vindicator as well, that is some pretty heavy firepower. UPC coming in does miss. Very nice. If it had hit, we might have been risking some exposed structure on those already damaged right torsos. Still haven't activated the turrets on the side, and that, well, they're activated, they don't have anything worthwhile to shoot at. That is a bit of a saving grace for us right now. The Jägermech is going to move on 6. I think I want to let him. Yep, so the turrets... Oh, he reserved. Okay. No, that was all 3 turrets. He was already moving on 5. My mistake. Let's see what he does. I don't want to get any closer like I would ordinarily with the Osprey. Yeah, actually... We have 2 choices here. We can try and pound through the back of that Jägermech, or we can try and use a rear strike on something a bit more valuable. Which we all know the answer here. Instead of getting the guaranteed kill, I'm gonna go in for the not guaranteed disable. Because I mean, the Trebuchet has basically no guns left. We are going to pop defensive formation and open up here. Very bad scattering pattern for us. Looks like, yeah, if we had even a single missile hit that right torso, we would have taken some guns off the field. As it is, we didn't. That is a little frustrating. And we potentially use the Timberwolf to solve that problem, but I'm not sure I can get a rear strike. And I can't. What I can do is I can get a rear strike on that Trebuchet. So we'll come up here. Is there a better range bracket for me? Not really. No, so no good range brackets. It's a little unfortunate. Didn't really want to use these ATMs at that sort of long range. We do have a precision strike, which does make it worth it. The HEs at this point would be absolutely miserable. In fact, they can't even fire. Let's do a full volley. I want this mech dead. So we can do. There it is. Open up the back and board it out. Okay. That's at least worth something. And the nice thing is, too, I mean, we didn't kill the Vindicator, but look at that. 4 left, 20 left. We could just pound through it with the Death Strike if we really wanted to. I do want to avoid any and all fire from those turrets, so we'll stay out of their vision. Turn slightly. Oof. Nope, that was a mistake. I can't shoot the Vindicator from here. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then we're going to pop Vigilance for the damage resistance, which we do need at this point. And open up just the lasers, hopefully kill the Jägermech there. Nope, not killed. Okay. 51% damage resistance on the Death Strike will hopefully be able to mitigate some of that return fire that we might now be exposed to from the Vindicator. Super Griffin Can I get a shot on Vindicator? No, I actually can't. It's a little surprising with this guy's mobility, but, you know, he's right behind that hill, and it's proving an effective barrier. We do need to move, otherwise we will be hit by artillery. So let's just do a quick move, and open up with everything we've got, try and take this generator down a little faster. So I don't think we'll be wanting to turn around and come back. So a lot of damage going in there. Artillery does come in and is stopped. What just got hit? Please tell me that wasn't me. Okay. Sometimes artillery on this map will blow up already dead mechs, which is a little weird. But yeah, no, that right torso explosion was not actually a right torso explosion at all. Vindicator moving back, and yep, shooting the Death Strike, lands the PPC. Only 33 damage though from that PPC, which, hey, I'm happy with that. That would ordinarily have been a lot worse. And let's see. How can I get the best shot? I wanted to core through the back of this guy, but he's actually he's done a very good maneuver here, backing himself up to the cliff, and I can't get a rear angle on that. So I think what we'll do instead is we'll take the rear angle that we can. Oh no, that exposes us to fire from that turret. You know what? Just stand right there. Stand right there. Pop vigilance so you're moving a little faster on the next turn, because I now need you to. Kill this mech, please. Yep. Very nice. I am still happy with that Osprey build. I could be happier, but I'm not sad. Ooh, okay, so it does look like their turret actually did have range on us, which I wasn't expecting. Okay, that's fine. We'll move down to 4, we'll get the Death Strike, actually just sit right there again, and open up with everything. Take that Vindicator down, please. Okay, we've gotten through. Left leg destroyed. Okay, so here's the good thing. He's not dead, but he'll be moving on 6. Our Osprey's now moving on 7, and we can just sprint right around him and take a shot in at those very damaged hit locations there, or honestly just go for a leg at this point. Bit of a waste our first volley on him. We need to figure out some way. I might refit the Osprey a little bit to make sure that he can really land those kills when we need him to. 191 left on this generator, so let's see if we can do it. I should be able to. Yep.
Second generator down. You've got one left.
We have 7 turns, which again I told you those 16 rounds would go very quickly, particularly where we're just maneuvering, which we had to do for a little while, and now I'm gonna move up here, and we're gonna risk fire from these turrets, and I don't have a ton of stuff left to kill them with. We have 60 of these HEs. Let's see, so that's 15 times 12 if I do a partial volley, which would give us 180 damage from half volley. We need to get through 212. Could do it if we, you know what, let's do Battlelord. Battlelord will increase our damage output, although it's not displaying at the moment. It should. Huh, interesting. And our accuracy as well, so let's open up with that.
Lady Arano, be advised that we're about to enter the shipyard's weapon range.
Yes.
I hope to hell your mercenary is almost finished with those generators. This is getting way too close for comfort. You heard
Give me
her.
a break.
You know what you have to do. Please, Commander, we're almost out of time.
Yes, I know. Yeah, pay me more and I'll go faster next time. I'm the worst kind of person. That's I'm sorry, but the success of your entire mission and the Arano restoration does not come before me avoiding having to refit my mech for 500,000 sequels. Oh, that's really weird when you think about it, you know? This entire war hinges on the fact that I want to take my time, because I don't like having to do mech repairs. So, yeah. I think it's goofy. See if we can get some damage yeah, landed 3 out of 4 on that standard laser turret. It's looking pretty good. Deathstrike can start moving up around the side. Although, I think I do want to shoot in. So we can't even move all that far. Although, well, let's just get on the sprint. We need to move that Deathstrike up to be able to kill that last generator quickly. That's okay with me. Timberwolf will move up and around. It's not a lot of evasion. It's not a lot of evasion at all. Where can I get... I want to keep my lasers online. Okay, that's about as far as I can go. We're on rough ground, which is never ideal. But I do want to take this turret offline without using either of my remaining... either of my ATMs. Okay, let's turret down. Good. And I really do want the Deathstrike killing that generator because we have way more ammunition left on him than we do on anything else at this point. Osprey can just stand here and shoot. Unless, can I get? Yeah, I can actually still get a shot while moving up, so let's do that. Not a great shot, but with the precision strike it'll probably be enough of a shot, provided we don't miss with that Gauss rifle. There it is. Do get hit. There it is, turret down. Okay, so the last turret doesn't actually have any targets, which means that did not fire. We'll move down to 3 here. How far can we go with the Super Griffin? Not all that far, actually. Alright, let's get the Deathstrike moving up. And Precision Strike, because why not? Hit that generator, please. 2, 3, 4, all of that damage coming in there. Nearly dead. And actually we can get right here, it's good enough right now. And let's see. Let's move off the rough ground, but otherwise stay very still. 141 left. Is this worth doing? I mean, yeah, we don't get any heat from it. We don't need both. This way, I don't have to fire the ultra auto cannons on the next round. To kill this thing. Return fire coming out of the Deathstrike and missing. Works for me. Let's get the Osprey moving up. There's no sense in keeping the 1110 online. It won't make a difference for my other firing decisions. So, let's say we're done there. Super Griffin, go ahead and jump up here. And you will hopefully take out this turret on your own. Should be able to. Have done a couple times now. Yep, turret down. And now we can finish off. Well, no, I want to use the Deathstrike for this. Always, always, always make the best decision for your ammunition. Even when it's basically done at this point. So, let's open up with these lasers. Generator down. Okay. Let's launch the generators. Ground batteries are down. Dropships clear to attack the shipyard. Mop up remaining hostiles, which there shouldn't be any. And this should be extraction. Yep, there it is. That's extraction. Okay. If we get a BTA loot cache, I will show that. Otherwise, it's just a standard mission reward. So, thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.